So we're so honored to have a Navy veteran here and a student at UNO. But so if you would, please introduce yourself and tell us how many years or what years did you serve?
Yes, my name is Mickaelle Rockette. I served in the Navy for 4 years. I joined in February of 2015 and I got out in February of 2019.
So you did one enlistment.
One enlistment.
And where was your hometown?
I am from O'Fallon, Missouri.
Okay, so you're not too far away from your home.
Not too far away.
Well, and when you joined in 2015, you went through boot camp?
Yes.
And then you went through tech training. And where was tech school at? What did you study?
My tech school was in Pensacola, Florida. So I was there for about a year.
I've been there.
A bit of a longer school.
Yeah.
And I was studying how to be an aviation electronics technician for F-18 aircraft.
Wow. F-18 is a nice aircraft, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
And of course, did you watch the latest Top Gun movie?
I did.
Yeah,
Yes.
I figured you would if you're a Top Gun
Yes.
person. No, those are outstanding aircraft.
Yes.
And granted, I'm a big F-35 guy now too, but which replacing the F-18s. But so, where was your first assignment after tech school?
So I was in VX9. It's in China Lake, California. It's an air test and evaluation squadron. So
Wow.
I was there for about 2 years.
Okay.
Yes, it was in the Mojave Desert.
So you went from Missouri out to the Mojave Desert,
Yes.
and at some point you got assigned to an aircraft carrier.
I was. That happened. I was stationed at Oceana in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
That's nice. I like it out there. So that was your
Yes.
second assignment.
Second assignment.
Yes.
I was at VFA 81, and that's where I did my deployment aboard the USS Harry S. Truman.
Which is one of the newer aircraft carriers.
Yes.
Yeah. So I've gone out to Oceana quite a bit, just as an old Air Force guy, and toured the docks as a congressman now. What an incredible operation out there. And I walked on the Jerry Ford, I've walked on the Ronald Reagan, but I haven't actually, but I was on the Carl Vinson for a tour in 1996. I was an Air Force guy, Air Force captain on a Navy carrier.
Oh, wow. That must have been quite an experience.
So you did 6 months on the Truman?
It was about 7.5 months.
7.5 months.
And it was a unique deployment because we were out for about 3 months, and then we came back to home port for about a month, and then went out for another 3.5 months.
That's unusual, isn't it?
It was.
Normally you do the full 7 somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so you were out, and you said the Mediterranean.
Yes, we went to Ceuta Bay, Greece, and then we went to Marseille, France. And then on the second half, we went to Portsmouth, England, and Lisbon, Portugal.
Wow. So how'd you like the port calls?
Oh, that was what I looked forward to.
Made you so,
Yes.
after 7 months.
Yes.
See, about 4 port calls, and
And
that extent, other than your visit home to Oceana
Exactly.
for a short time period.
yes.
And so what stands out to you on a aircraft carrier living?
So it really is like a floating city. You have about 5,000 people on there, and you can go the whole deployment without even seeing somebody, or you can see somebody for the first time, like 4 months in. And so it's really overwhelming to think about how many people are there,
Yeah.
but it's a great experience.
So I commanded Offutt at 8,000 people, and there's about 10,000 people working at Offutt. You have half the people on an aircraft carrier to make up one of the bigger bases in the Air Force.
Yes.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But were you able to sleep through all the takeoff and landings? Because when I was on the carrier, I never got really used to that. But
No.
bang!
No,
And you could hear the catapults.
No, and I worked
Yeah.
the night shift, and so I would be trying to sleep during the times that most of the aircraft were taking off and landing. But you kind of get used to it in a way, like you have the ship rocking you as well to go to sleep.
Yeah.
But it's definitely loud in the rooms.
So did you have like a mission on these deployments, or was it a variety of missions? Because I know you were in the Persian Gulf. So so in the Mediterranean was more show the flag, or was it, what was your mission when you're out there?
We did a lot of training and operations, especially with like different navies. So a lot of it was like qualification training and then just training for the other operations that they were doing.
So you were integrating with other navies
Yes,
in the Mediterranean and probably the Atlantic,
Yes.
which is a lot. You train so you can fight and win.
Yes.
Yeah, and allies. There's only one thing worse than having allies. That's having no allies. So you got to work with your allies.
Exactly.
So you were part of that.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, is there what inspired you to get in the Navy, and what has inspired you through your 4 years there and now?
Well, so I actually come from a military family. My father was in the Marine Corps for 22 years, and my sister is in the Air Force right now. She's going on her 12th year. And so it it was always an option for me to join the military, and growing up in that environment and seeing how impactful the service can be, I wanted to be a part of it. And so when I graduated high school, I decided to join the Navy and learn some leadership skills and make a difference in the world, and also to travel, of course. So that was...
You know, it was me. I wanted, well, I like serving our country, but I wanted to see the world too. I wanted adventure. I stayed in because I love the people. I thought the people I enjoyed who I worked with every day.
Yes, exactly.
And it was sort of the highlight was the people around us, and there were folks who signed up because they're selfless, they want to serve too, and it just was always a good fit coming in and work every day.
Yes, yes.
So you were talking about how much your dad made a difference in your life. You want to share?
Yes, so he was in the Marine Corps for 22 years, and he's always been a dedicated Marine. Even to this day, he's been retired for about since 2007, but he's still in the mentality. He wakes up at 4:30 in the morning every day to work out. He does real estate now. He's a real estate broker, and he still is very dedicated to veterans. While he was working here in MP Dodge, he actually started a Veterans Day breakfast for the company, and so he's just very invested, and it's inspiring to see how motivated he is to support the military service.
Well, my dad was a Marine for 4 years. I got out right before I was born. I'm the oldest of 9. My dad was pretty tough, but he got easier over time.
Yes.
So I think number 7, 8th, and 9th kid probably had it pretty easy. But he said his upbringing was so hard that actually it was easier when he joined the Marines. So that was his mindset. But I wanted to say thank you. Thank you on this Veterans Day that we're going to be out celebrating and showing your video. We appreciate you joining the Navy for 4. We appreciate you defending our great country. And what are you studying now at UNO?
Right now, I just started the master's program for social work.
Okay.
Yes, and so I also want to actually incorporate my military background along with my social work training to work with veterans in the future.
Fantastic. Well, we appreciate you very much for coming in. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it.